All right, let's just jump right in. Picture this. You've got this killer idea for an app, right? Something that could be a total game changer. But then you hit the wall. You don't know how to code, and hiring a whole team, that's crazy expensive. So what if you could just describe your idea in plain English and an AI would just build it for you? Well, that's not science fiction. That's the incredible promise of a new platform called Lovable.dev.
And Lovable's mission here is it's huge. It's so much more than just another tech tool. They're trying to fundamentally change who gets to be a creator, who gets to see their ideas actually become real, living things out in the digital world.
And the problem they're going after? It's absolutely massive. I mean, think about it. Less than 1% of the entire world's population can actually write code. So for every single person who can build an app, there are 99 others with amazing ideas just stuck in their heads. Lovable wants to be the key that unlocks all that potential for the other 99%.
And guess what? It's working. They are totally reaching that audience. The data is pretty clear. A full 2/3 of their users are people who aren't coders. We're talking entrepreneurs, designers, students, you name it. They've tapped into this huge group of people who were just waiting for a tool like this to come along. So, the big idea is basically giving everyone their own personal AI software engineer. Let's dig into what that actually looks like in the real world. But, and this is a big but, this incredible promise comes with a catch, a really important one. It's something the community calls the 80-20 duality. See, using Lovable is really a tale of two completely different experiences. One part is pure magic, and the other, well, it can be a real challenge. So here's how it breaks down. That first 80% of building your app, the fun stuff, what it looks like, how it feels, the whole user interface, it's an unbelievably fast and, honestly, a delightful experience. But then you get to that last 20%, the tricky stuff. The complex back-end logic, connecting to a database, fixing weird bugs. And that's where a lot of people just hit a total wall of frustration.
And this quote right here, it just nails that delight phase. People are seriously blown away. I mean, stuff that would normally take a whole team of developers weeks, maybe even months to build, you can get a beautiful, working prototype up and running in a few hours, sometimes literally in minutes. It's wild.
But then, you hit the other side of that coin. The moment you need to do something really complex, like setting up a secure billing system, the whole experience can just flip on its head. And this quote from a user, calling it hell, that pretty much sums up the frustration of that final 20%.
Okay, so we've got this two-sided experience, right? The magic and the misery. But how does this thing actually work? I mean, how do you go from just typing a sentence to having a real working app? Let's peel back the curtain a bit. At its heart, the process is just beautifully simple. Step 1, you just describe your app in a chat box, like you're talking to a person. Step 2, the AI does its thing and spits out a whole application. And step 3, you just keep chatting with it. You ask it to make changes, add new features, and refine things. It's like you're having a back-and-forth conversation with your own AI developer. And this is super important. Lovable is not building your app with some kind of toy technology. This is the real deal. The front end, what you actually see and click on, is built with React and Vite. That's what the pros use to build fast, modern websites. The back end, the brains of the operation, runs on Supabase for your database and user accounts. And the AI itself isn't just one single model. It's actually a smart routing system that picks the best AI for whatever job it's doing, whether that's writing code or designing a beautiful layout. Okay, and this right here, this might be the single most critical feature if you're serious about your project. You own 100% of the code. It all gets saved to your own GitHub account. And what that gives you is a crucial escape hatch. So if your app gets too complicated for the AI to handle, no problem. You can take the entire cleanly written codebase and hand it over to a human developer to take it over the finish line. Your project is never, ever trapped on their platform. All right, so we've seen the incredible power, and we've seen the pitfalls. So how do you actually use this thing without pulling your hair out? Let's get into a little survival guide, a playbook for how to succeed with Lovable, and this is all based on what the community has figured out. First things first, we got to talk about a major pain point, and that's the pricing. Lovable uses a credit system, so basically every big change you ask for costs you credits. And a lot of users say this just totally inhibits creativity because they're afraid to experiment and waste credits. And what's worse, if the AI messes up, you have to spend your credits to fix its mistake. Ouch. That can be super frustrating, especially when you're just starting out.
So here's the playbook, straight from the people who've been in the trenches. Number 1, plan your app out before you even open Lovable. Sketch it out, write it down, whatever. Don't waste credits figuring things out on the fly. Number 2, this is key. Treat the AI like a junior developer. Don't give it a huge, complex task. Give it small, simple instructions and then check its work every single time. And finally, number 3, know when to stop. Use Lovable for what it's amazing at, that beautiful front end, and then be ready to hit that escape hatch and export the code for the really tricky back-end stuff.
Now, this next point is a huge one, so I'm going to be super direct here. You absolutely cannot assume the code the AI writes is secure, especially if you're dealing with things like passwords, credit card info, or any sensitive user data. The advice is crystal clear. Before you go live with a real product, you must have a human developer audit the code for security holes. At the end of the day, that responsibility is on you.
Okay, so with all of that in our back pocket, let's zoom out a bit. What does a tool like this actually mean for the future of building things? And where does it really fit in with all the other tools out there?
So let's put it on the map. How does Lovable stack up against the competition? Well, you've got Bubble, which is kind of the king of no-code. Lovable is way easier to start with and gets you a beautiful design much faster. But Bubble is definitely more powerful for building that complicated back-end logic for a finished app. Then you have something like Replit, but that's really for people who already code and just want an AI to help them out. They're all aiming at different people with different needs. And that's the thing. Lovable isn't really trying to be a bubble killer. Its true sweet spot, its real genius, is being the absolute best tool in the world for creating high-fidelity interactive prototypes. It's a step up from a flat design in Figma because it's actually functional, but it's way faster for getting that perfect front end than trying to build the whole thing from scratch. It's almost like it's created a brand new category for itself. And all of this is pointing towards a completely new way of thinking about building software, something that's being called vibe coding. The whole idea is we're moving away from a world where you have to learn all this rigid, perfect syntax. Instead, we're moving towards a future where you can create just by describing the vibe, the feeling, the intent of what you want to build. It's literally creation by conversation.
And that leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? Lovable has, without a doubt, created the most powerful and easiest first step in making software that has ever existed. But is that where it stops? Is this kind of vibe coding the future of how all software will be built from start to finish? Or is it destined to be the world's greatest starting line for the creative journey? You know, the answer to that is probably going to shape how we all create things for a long, long time.